Hey Aussie gamers, hey Thorncliff, hey Red, how you going boys? Thank you very much for taking on the reins of the show this week while I am absent. As you can hear in the background, I'm extremely busy in my boring work environment, doing other things that aren't fun and are not gaming. But I am happy to leave the rest of the podcast in your hands because I know you guys are so passionate and so capable of running this podcast. I know you guys will have an awesome show for me to listen to that will be exciting for me as well as everybody else that loves to listen to the show. Thank you very much, everybody else. Enjoy the show, and I'll hand over the reins back to you guys. Cheers. See ya. Isn't anybody going to answer that bloody phone? Hello, LewkOne's office. No, I told you, Thorncliff doesn't have herpes anymore. He went and saw a doctor. Yes, no, he's not going to be spending the company coin on hookers anymore. I've had a chat to him, and Red's going to beat the shit out of him if he keeps doing it. Alright, thank you. Goodbye.
Welcome Aussie gamers and honorary Aussie gamers from around the world. Today is the 4th of the 6th, and I am your host with the most.
Rolls.
Yeah, you're jealous because I get up every morning, stand on the scales, and I've instantly got the top score for the day. And joining me, obviously I'm Red. There's no LewkOne, so while the cat's away, the mouse will play. And joining me also is our resident Rain Man and our tutorial slayer, Thorncliff. How are you, mate?
I am very good. Tutorial slayer, I like that.
So before we get things kicked off today, I'll do the usual run through because conformity is the flavour of the month. First we'll have game talk and we'll push through to the news. We'll have What's That Sound? Not so frequently asked questions, followed by shout, and we'll bring the show home for another day. So, Sean. You've got a lot on your playing. Yeah, you've got a lot on your agenda. You bring it in.
Yeah, well, I got around to this is really sad, but I finished Infamous First Light this week. So I was just sitting there the other day and couldn't be asked getting up and changing the disc. So I just flicked it on because it was installed on my hard drive. And I only had probably had an hour and a half max left on it, and I finished that off. So I've just been going through all the challenges. I'd previously gone through and red moded the whole thing except for the story. So
we started that together, didn't we?
Yeah, and I think it was in one night that we sat there and we completely got everything in the whole map and really completed it. Yeah, and I just never got around to doing the story after that. So I did that. I finished the story off. I played Diablo 3 with the blind scientist. Yeah, Chris, so he just finished the game and I think he was about a level 63 and I just took him through a couple of rifts and boosted him up to level 70, and the second that he hit level 70 he automatically went up to about level 12 on his paragons, so yeah. Was it,
completely legit.
Yes, Torment 5 rifts, so... Yeah, that was pretty good fun. Just good fun to get back into it again, you know. Like,
it's something you never lose enjoyment for either.
Yeah, and even if it is, just jumping in with a couple of mates and running through a couple of rifts and that, it's really good. But it's still kind of, a little bit antsy about going in and getting this hardcore run really going, because I think I'm going to have to play a lot of it, maybe boost a couple of characters up to level 20, just get myself back in the groove of the game again before I move on to really hitting that hardcore one, and I'll have a couple of characters to fall back on in the case that anything should go wrong. So
yeah, you really want it second nature for those fuck moments, you know.
Yeah, that you need to get out of it quickly, and you need to just basically you need to get your brain mapped back to playing it again, so that when you do get in the sticky situations, your brain just automatically knows what buttons to press to get yourself out of the situation, if you know what I mean.
You're not trying to exo dodge.
Yeah, exactly right. Jump back onto Rivia, so with The Witcher 3, dropped the difficulty back just to the story only, and thought, you know what, I am going to go through and just really focus on the story and get it through, because otherwise I will not finish it. I will not do anything that, what my attention span's like with something, especially that is supposedly so big, then yeah, it took me that long to finish Infamous First Light and nearly a year to finish The Last of Us. But yeah, next I jumped on. I got home from work the other day. The wife was using the TV, watching Netflix or whatever, and I just jumped on the PC. And I'm like, oh, we'll just play a PC game for a while. And I think it was Heroes of the Storm I wanted to play, and it was still downloading the update on it. So I jumped back into Half-Life 2. And
I remember that. Yes,
it's just have to be one of the most epic games on the PC. It's the soundtrack behind it, the action in there. It's really, really good. And yeah, I played a couple of hours. I got into Black Mesa East and just starting to run through there again. But you know what? I can't tell how many times I've played this game through. But like every time I go back to it, I love every second of it. And if I could wish for any remaster or anything like that to come out, is to get a new orange box for current gen with Half-Life 2 and the extra episodes, plus a Portal 2. If they redid those and put them out on the current gen, I reckon they'd sell like hotcakes yet again. Because it was such a massive thing when Portal 2 came to the console, and I think it'd just be epic. Don't worry about doing all these like Game of the Year editions for Lords of the Fallen or anything like that. Focus on something that's really going to sell, and that'd be it.
Yeah, I'm completely agree. I haven't played either of those two games, and you guys just rave and rave and rave.
Oh, Portal 2 is just amazing. Just a brilliant game.
Might have to have a look at the Steam sales coming up.
Yeah.
On the 11th, I think, but yeah.
Yeah, they're really cool. So, next I jumped into Magicka. So, Magicka 2. Luke was nice enough to let me download it through his account and have a playthrough of it, and just awesome. Like it's very Diablo-y, but with a mix-up of the magic and how you can string all the combos together and
how the elements combos work together.
Yeah, or certain ones, like if you're wet, you friggin' use your electricity and you zap yourself. You're constantly looking at what you are if you're wet, or if you can be on fire or whatever, just trying to get yourself right. But at the moment, I'm really uncoordinated at it. Like I first played it with Luke last weekend at his house. We did some couch co-op of it, and I was just unco at it, and we were dying a fair bit, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, man, I just can't, because the brain hasn't mapped to what I'm supposed to be doing yet, and it was quite difficult to understand at start, but I'm starting to get there. I'm starting to get a good having a good go of it. So
yeah. Shopping, loving cheese.
Yeah. I understand all that because I hear him down at the pub on the weekend. Next, we got our hands on a couple of copies of Wander by Wander MMO. So they're a Melbourne-based developer that have just released the game Wander for the PS4. And on the first impression of it, I opened it up and I've looked at it and I've gone, wow, this is really pretty. It looks really nice. On venturing further into the game, frustration started to come out quite a bit. Like I really want to play a lot more of this to try and get my head around it and grasp the whole concepts of it. But right now at the moment, it's not doing much for me. It feels broken and all that kind of stuff. But we will talk about that more with Luke and once you get a go of it, Red.
Would you say the word play would be used loosely if you said you played Wander?
I wandered through Wander.
Yeah, I forgot the intro, didn't I?
You ponder and wonder whilst wandering through Wander. Yes. But yeah, yes, it's supposedly marketed as a non-combat MMO.
Yeah, it's a narrative MMO.
MMO. And the concepts in there are like... I haven't played enough of it to give an honest opinion on it yet, but at the moment, it's really not doing a lot for me. I wanted so much to love this, and it being an Australian-made indie game, I really, really wanted it to just blow me away. But at the moment, you know what, the visuals were stunning when I first opened the game. I was in a first person. I was a tree, and I was walking through the forest, and you know what, it looked beautiful. But as the game progressed through and the switching to third person and different things like that, it doesn't feel right at the moment. And as I said, I need to play more of it to give an honest opinion on it.
It's a big bite to try and take out of a first indie title being an MMO also.
Yeah.
That's a big jump.
Yeah, and did it need to be? I'm not sure. I think there's, Dear Esther was a perfect example on the Steam, where it was basically walking around and had this beautiful landscape and all that kind of stuff. And if this was more like trying to tell a story or trying to, like Australian developers having in the rainforest or whatever like that, if it was telling you a story along the way and it was pushing you towards something, then yes. But the way that it is at the moment, it doesn't explain things very well. It doesn't explain to you what you need to do. There's no options in there. Like the options menu on it, for one, you've got one option, and that's invert, for inverting your control. And in the pause menu, there's an option that says I can't move, and you click yes or no. So something seems like it's been released knowing that something's broken in there, and like I just, you know what, I need to play more of it and get a better feel for it before I really say something about it. That
we're by no stretch of imagination ragging on like even Torrent. That's you just summed up there. That was saved by its story, and that's why you're looking for a story in this one possibly.
This one does have good visuals.
Yeah, where Torrent was lacking in some areas.
Yeah.
And by no means are we sitting back here saying we're professionals and we've done it all before and look at the games we've produced, but it still raises a question from me as a personal opinion. Should there be a criteria or a level upon which a game must be in order to be able to make it onto the PSN store? It's not
Steam. It is on Steam.
Green light or whatever it is.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, that's sure. But I think that there needs to be some level of polish, some level of, as you say, like a QA behind being released onto a store, and to make them a reasonable price. Like this is $25 and it's
hard to see where it is at the moment.
Yeah.
But good luck to them.
Yeah, very much so. We're hopefully going to have a chat to one of the guys from Wanda Studios coming up, if we can get a hold of them. But we'll see what they've got to say, and they might be able to draw a bit more light onto it and explain it a bit more to us, because at the moment I am quite confused. Next, I was into Lego Worlds. So Lego Worlds came onto Steam Early Access this week. So it's a Minecraft with Lego. So you're building everything out of Lego and all that kind of stuff. Let me stress straight off the bat that this is very early access. It has potential behind it. It does looks like a normal Lego game. Like I walked up, I punched a tree, the tree fell apart, and Lego coins fell out like in the Lego games and stuff like that. And I'm guessing that's where you get your currency from to build things and all that. There's a sculpting tool, so you can sculpt the earth around you and all that kind of stuff. It takes Minecraft to a bit more of a level where it's a mix basically between, I'd say, the SimCity sculpting tool
and Minecraft.
And the old StarCraft level creators.
Oh, yay.
If you ever played those, so like you'll get a whole heap of different shapes on your screen, and like you pick which one you want to do, and you place it where it is, and then you can lift it up and down to make it a different size hill or a spike or something like that there, and you kind of float in the air and shoot Lego bricks out of a Lego gun. So yeah, and that builds and sculpts things up. And you know what? It's cool. I can really see that it's got potential, but at the moment it is very early access. Don't expect any level of polish that you see in the other TT Lego games and stuff as yet. But you know what? It will turn into something that is quite decent, I think. And well, Minecraft's doing everything they can to put story into the game and all that kind of stuff with Telltale and that at the moment. So you know what? It might be good that Lego is using this kind of platform, because in the end that's what Lego's about, isn't it? Building things.
Yeah, so is it TT and Warner Brothers, or is it a third party?
So Warner Brothers, I'm not 100% sure on the developer. I can find it, but I think it might be TT. Yeah.
Because you'd think with the money behind them and the success that it won't remain as early access feel as you've
yeah, I've got here that it's Net Devil and the Lego Group. So Net Devil is Auto Assault, Warmonger, Jumpgate, so not very big titles, but then there's with the Lego Group, who is the Lego Group, the actual toys, so they're all in conjunction with it. But yeah.
Do you reckon it'll be a PC only?
I'd hope not.
You'd like to see it come to console then?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be a lot easier to play with a console.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd love Minecraft on the PC, but after playing it on the consoles as well, like you get a feel for it. And I think that I can't play the other Lego games on the PC.
Nah.
I'd love them on the consoles though, and the Vita. Some of them are just made for the Vita. It's really cool. Next up, I played a couple of levels of Battlefield Hardline.
Huh, this you have more knowledge on than I do.
Yeah, so it's cheesy, but it took about 15 minutes for me to be able to shoot somebody. Yeah, what is cops and robbers, I guess. It had a bit of a LA noir feel about it, where you're going to an area and you're looking for things and scanning over stuff and looking for clues and evidence and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I really hope that it ramps up a hell of a lot more than it has in the first couple of episodes, because it just didn't feel like Battlefield, like where in Battlefield 4 you got dropped right in at the start, and
yeah.
You know, it was pretty epic, the whole scope of things, and just looking around the city or the war zone and all that. It was just amazing to see the things off in the distance burning, and all the aircraft and all those kind of things. It was really cool. It had a massive open area that you can wander through for the levels and that. So I really hope that it does amp up a bit, and I'd like to give the multiplayer a little bit of a go, but not too much, I don't think. Because I'll go into my last game, because I've kind of become a little bit addicted now to something that I never thought I ever would. But yeah, last weekend we had the Clan War.
We did.
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and we absolutely nailed it.
We smashed them.
Yeah, massively smashed them. And I think I've got it here. We were first place with 307 capture points, and second place had 69. That was in bronze division though, so let's hope we get beefed up to.
That'll put us straight back to platinum division. We'll skip silver and gold with that win.
Yeah, awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, so we had you, Red, with 46 wins.
Yeah, man.
Myself with 40 wins. And Luke with 25 wins. And his 25 wins, they came in one day because he had to scoot off on Sunday. So he wasn't really around for the second day of the war. But great effort by everybody. I'll read out the ones we've got here. So we had Adam, Nico, Chris, Jason Reprimir, Ben Squad and Dale. So
Yep.
The bearded arse Asian.
Elad.
Elad. Yeah, so, yeah, Dale was his first time coming in. It was great to have him in there. He got a few wins. I think it was about 6 or 7 wins all up. And he must have dropped into the clan war, into the actual clan on the second day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty epic, though. I don't know what it is. I think I'm like level 47 out of 50 now. So
yeah, going hard.
Not bad for two sittings of Call of Duty.
Nah, I did have double XP, but we won't mention that on the podcast.
Oh yeah, it's just because I only ever get half a score anyway. If I was any good, I'd be platinum level 4 right now. I was excited to get more than 10 kills.
Yeah, but as you said, especially on the weekend, and you've alluded to it now, it's a teamwork aspect. You can go 10 and 40. But if you're jumping on those bloody domination points, or and
that's what I was doing. I'm like, cover me. I'll run in and try and neutralise something. And as long as I neutralised it before I get in shot, I was happy. Or I'd run the flag because I knew I wasn't good at aiming or anything. So I just said, righty, I'm grabbing the flag now. Cover me as I'm running back, because we were playing the capture the flag. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. A hell of a lot more than what I would normally, and I think that's basically because we were in a chat party all together and we were just having a laugh for most of the weekend. And
yeah, I was about to say,
didn't have a 12-year-old telling me that they had sex with my mum.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's not something that's really enjoyable on your own. Like, you can jump in and have a few games, but as you said, there's no banter, there's no teamwork, so there's no real feeling of success. Like, oh, we really nutted that out as a team, you know. So that's why I don't play it near as much. I used to just jump on and I'd sit there on my own and just shoot. And now I don't get as much enjoyment out of it unless, one or two other blokes minimum. Then we're having a bit of fun.
Yeah. Awesome. And that's my week, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously I played COD too. Go figure. I got a prestige and a half out of it, so I was pretty happy. I play a totally different game to Thorncliff, though I do go for the objective, but I just don't stop running. I just fucking go. If I die, start again.
Yeah.
And just get on a roll. But this is probably the first clan that I've tried to take a bit of ownership of and whatnot. But I must admit, with yours and Luke's support this week, it really felt like a team environment, so I really did get a kick out of it, and I will be on the next one. So, for every good feeling on a clan war, I'll keep coming back. It's when you start getting the shits with it, it's not really worth it.
Yeah, so there's no point really, because it's
No.
That's why I never played them, because I was like, you know what, I'm not getting back into that where the environment's toxic, it's this and that, and it just wasn't appealing to me. But the whole thing about PlayStation 4, and it'll be the same with Xbox One, is the party features. You don't have to be in a public lobby, and that's just perfect for me.
It's bliss, yeah. I played Witcher 3. Obviously, this week I've probably put about 25 hours into it, 30 hours.
Lovely.
Yeah, hopping from question mark to question mark, getting no money and no experience, but just feeling like a badass. But I'm now, level 17, so I'm feeling a lot more comfortable walking around some of these areas and actually running into some pretty cool bad guys like Cyclopses and Earth Elementals and just big things that normally you just look at from a distance, because you can hear them from a distance when
you go, nope.
Tail between the legs and going back to the brothel. So that's getting pretty cool. I probably devoted half the time this week into playing story. Be getting a few of the bloody main quests done and unlocking it, but it flows so differently from anything I'm really used to. Like what have we played? Dying Light. They had a similar setup where you could pick your objective, whether it be main or side quest, and So, like, you'll pick a quest line and you'll be doing it for 3 or 4 hours and you won't realise it's just integrated into 1 or 2 different quest lines and you're ticking this box and ticking that box. It's very, very seamless. And
it intertwines. Like, I think it was at the start, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm going now. I don't know where I'm going now. Very similar to Luke. And you're like, well, what's next on your main quest? And I'm going, oh, well, there's this here. And then I did that there, and then it flicks back to the next one seamlessly because I had to do something on the next one before I could proceed with the first one.
Yeah, meet a character, have an interaction, make a decision. And that brings up my next point, and I have blogged about it recently, so if you want to read it as opposed to listening to it, go across there and have a look. But I'm making decisions now, and they are ultimately affecting even smaller decisions, stuff that's happening in a side quest. You know, it's completely away from the main story, but you're making decisions here that'll affect the main quests, and your main quests will affect your side quests and your notoriety and your reputation and everything like that. And yeah, it's a real eye-opener, and I can really see where 200 or 300 hours can go into finishing the game. I really can. The amount of time I've spent on it, and I've done nothing. I really haven't.
Mm.
Except for just enjoy it as a game. You know, I haven't set out to go, right, I'm going to finish this week sort of thing, because like kid yourself, you're really not going to finish it in a week, not when you have our sort of responsibilities.
Yeah.
And
you know what? It's very different from your traditional MMOs and all that kind of stuff as well, with the fact that, like, with your MMO RPGs and all that, like World of Warcraft and all that kind of stuff, there was never an end game.
Huh.
There was a leveling up system, and you needed to level yourself to a certain level to be able to go into the raids, to do different things, to do certain stuff. And you know what? There was a hell of a lot of story in there, but the story never amounted to like a big climactic end or anything like that. You know, you hit the level cap, and you're like, oh, okay, rightio, we've unlocked this, and I can do this now, and I can do that now, but there was never any ending to it, which just kept on bringing people back and back and back, and you just continually do the same thing. These things here, you can play it your one of two ways, where you can put 400 hours into it, or you can put 100 hours into it and finish it.
Yeah, but you also feel like you've
accomplished
tying loose ends. You are, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was another point I was going to quickly make, but I forgot what it was going to be. There's a lot of fetch missions, or fetch quests is what they call them. So you want a bit of information about Siri. So go to person A, who directs you to person B. Then you got to do plan C, back to person A, and then talk to person B, and then job done sort of thing.
Yeah.
But if you keep working your way through these side quests, every now and again you'll hit one, and it's a 4 hour narrative. You know, it's just a mini story within the game. You know, you can get lost doing these things. It's like, oh, well, the world's not in peril at the moment, and Siri's lost, but that doesn't matter. Here's this: you're helping out this Pella who was abused by his father, and spoiler alert, but that's not really. But you know what I mean? It just as an example, you go meet this bloke, and then you run into him 30 hours later, and he's doing something different. Oh, can I get your help here? Yeah, no worries. Oh, I'm being haunted by a wraith of my father, and rah. So off you go, and you sort that out, and then you really get to know this character. And some of them you're sad to see go by the wayside, really, because obviously some of them don't walk out of certain situations, being The Witcher and all. But wicked, really, really good. Very impressed. Still a very beautiful game. Since the update, I haven't had too many frame rate issues, and touch wood, my game's never crashed, so I can't say a real bad thing about it.
Awesome.
And drum roll, please, fucking everyone, get your I told you so's ready, or rings ready. I played Destiny. I did. Last night I played Destiny. Jumped in with Repavir and Nico, and what we do, smashed out all the story levels at max difficulty because I had some help. And
so that took you about 6 minutes?
6 minutes of listening, yeah. But I tell you what, one thing it always has been, Destiny, and I've never discredited. I've taken the piss a lot of times about Destiny, and I'll continue to do so because it's just an easy target. It's like picking on a midget. It is a very solid first-person shooter. It truly is. And I was doing what I was doing last night. I know there was story to it. I didn't understand the first one expansion, what they were trying to tell me. I didn't soak any of the story in here. I know I'm hunting down this. And it's just solid, mate. And they've deviated a little bit from the whole raid and given us Trials of Osiris and the other one, horde mode sort of thing. And that's fun. It's, it chucks you in a room, tells you to do this, okay, and then survive. Cool. I enjoyed that. And they've made it easier to level up so you're not constantly on there 12 hours a day just loving the grind. Yeah. It's a little bit easier to level up now, There's a few different things that the more advanced players can do a bit better, and if you've got a good team and whatnot. But it is possible to progress without just without it being random. It's
because it was all random drops, wasn't it?
Yeah, very, very random. And
I remember when it first came out, you was getting the shits because you're like, I only killed 4 people and I got the exotic, whereas Reprimir called 80 and got a rare.
So it's obtainable now, and you can set yourself a goal and just like, rightio, I'm going to kick in here for a couple of hours, play a couple of Crucibles. I know if I play 30 Crucibles within a lot amount of time, win, loss, or indifferent, I'm going to get this. Or I'm going to be able to buy this. It's all available to you, and it's not. I remember we used to put 6, 8, 10 hours a day into it, and there was bugger all else to play at the time, so of course it's going to get the love. But they've done a couple of good things and drawn me back to it. I still think it's too expensive for an expansion, in all honesty, but they did open up the reef, and that's pretty cool. It's got a nicer loading screen now, so... But yeah, so that's my week. Just COD, Destiny, and Witcher. That's plain Jane. When you got the Witcher in your library unfinished, not a lot of other stuff's going to get touched.
Yeah, except in my world, where I just went game crazy this week. I'm like, no uni, let's go for it.
Yeah, my missus is off uni for a little while as well, but she's still not allowed to play the PlayStation.
Yeah.
All right, we'll jump into the news.
It.
So, straight out of the gates, the most, God's gift, Fallout 4, unveiled.
They did pretty well.
News done.
Yeah, they did it pretty well, actually. So, was it yesterday? They had a tweet go out, and it had a picture of please stand by and a link, and you jumped onto the link, and it came up with a countdown timer for 24 hours. So it was about midnight last night.
Yep.
It was Australian time that it hit and launched the Fallout 4 trailer.
Which looks good.
Yes, it's a all I could think was, geez, this is a lot less brown than Fallout 3.
Yeah. Because that was an arid wasteland.
They must have actually picked up a couple of extra cell shades, so yeah.
So, from reports, it's going to be set in Boston.
Yes.
Dog meat returns, being the puppy.
Yep.
It is being developed only for current gen and PC.
So it should be.
Yeah, so it should be, exactly, and that's going to help save on time. Which begs the question, what are they going to reveal at E3 now? I'm just going to go ahead and say Doom. But
yeah, well, that'll be it, yeah.
Or QuakeCon. But yeah, from everything I've read, because obviously now the most Googled search bloody question is, when is Fallout 4 going to be released? And there's a lot of hype and speculation that it could be by the end of the year, because if Bethesda's track record's anything to go by, they don't dangle along and give bits and pieces here and there. They'll do what they done last night and go, here you go, we'll jump in front of anything that's going to get leaked or spoiled for you all. This is what we have to offer, and I would imagine, considering there's a maximum of 6 years, or 5.5 years that it could have been worked on after Skyrim, that it's probably about ready to go.
Yeah, well, there was something around last year, I believe it was, that a guy had actually come out and said on Reddit that
have you read that?
He was working on it, and yeah.
I read that probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, and then I seen it in the comment on the page today, and I went, oh yeah, I know exactly what that is.
Yeah. You know what? I can't tell you that I was the biggest fan of New Vegas, because I wasn't.
Well, it wasn't Bethesda. That was Obsidian Entertainment.
Yeah. Fallout 3, amazing.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, really looking forward to this one on current gen and looking spiffy. Looking really good.
And the only thing we can take away from the trailer is I suspect there was no gameplay footage. It seemed all cutscene-y and everything like that, which is cool, because I'll probably have a reveal later on down the track, a gameplay reveal. But
that'll be E3.
Yeah, that'd most likely be E3, that's correct. And I'd really like to see it on October 14th, please. That'd be a great day to get that.
Yeah?
Yeah,
November 3rd. So I usually get Call of Duty on my birthday, so...
Oh, yeah, cool. So, watch this space. We will be, looking after it intently.
Yeah, so, Fallout 4. The next one I've got is Guitar Hero. Again, we're going to go through this week. I'm going to steal Luke's thunder because he usually comes out with these ones here. But more songs have been added to the Guitar Hero live set list. We have Queen with Tie Your Mother Down.
Good song.
Alice in Chains, Stone.
Yeah.
Bullet for My Valentine, Temper Temper. Which
really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Tears Don't Fall would be epic on this.
Yeah, because they had Scream Aim Fire.
Yeah.
On Guitar Hero 3 or 4.
3, yeah, I think, yeah. Deep Valley, Lies, Wolf Mother, Sundial.
Yeah, go.
Yeah. Weezer, Buddy Holly.
Oh, wow.
That'll be alright, yeah.
Yeah.
Angus and Julius Stone, A Heartbreak.
Yeah.
Catfish and the Bottleman, Kathleen. Neon Trees, Everybody Talks. And New Politics, Harlem. So there's all the new ones. So
obviously, like with the other ones, they're picking from a heap of different genres. And look, I'll be the first one to admit I love my music. I play guitar in my spare time and everything like that. But I learnt about a lot of bands or artists through Guitar Hero. You know, so some of these ones that I haven't heard of, I'm not too skeptical of it at the moment. The ones that, like the bands I do know, it's like, well, why are you getting their bloody second, third, fourth string sort of songs, you know?
Yeah. Another little thing that I'm going to add into this is that with the Rock Band 4 coming out this year as well, PS4 will be good to go with your old guitars. Xbox.
Rock Band.
Rock Band.
Yeah.
It's good to go though. So you plug in the USB dongle that came with the PS3.
Yep.
And straight away it'll go up. Xbox 360, however, Xbox One's going to need an adapter for it. So if you remember at all, if you ever played it on the 360, which I've got all of them on, that big thing there was that they connected directly to the console. So no USB dongles, no nothing. So with the Xbox One, they're going to announce it at a later date, the adapter for it. But yeah, you're going to need an adapter.
First world problems.
Yeah.
All right, next piece. There's rumoured that Dark Souls 3 will be announced at E3. Yay! So, publisher Bandai Namco is supposedly going to make an announcement and the Souls and Bloodborne creator Hidetaka Miyazaki will lead the game.
Oh yeah, Taka Miyazaki.
Yeah, he's a 4-stroke ring. Will lead the game's development. He was he supervised the creation of the sequel on also number 2 in a less hands-on role, and he looked after Bloodborne, obviously. So we are to expect, well, as much as you can expect, they think it will be at Sony's E3 press conference.
Awesome.
Which makes, why is PS3 or Sony unveiling it? Why wouldn't they? Probably don't have enough content on their own to have their own showcase. So yeah. And that's to go hand in hand with an expansion to Bloodborne that was announced last month. So this whole patient hack / adventure might be taking off again.
I just have no interest.
Nah, too much. It's too hard. It's too a lot to take in. It's something you really want to appreciate the lore, and no thanks. I'll play it.
I'm gonna sound like a real pussy here. They're too hard.
Yeah. Well, that's their bloody. That's
the
their
draw
hook,
of them, but
yeah.
No. All right, I've got a list here of confirmations of games that are going to be at E3 this year. So heaps of all the usual guys are going to be there: Capcom, Crytek, Deep Silver, Oculus, Nvidia, Nintendo, Microsoft, all those Telltale, all that kind of stuff, Ubisoft. So we've got the WWE 2K16 from 2K Games. Borderlands 3
Oh, really?
is this is not confirmed. This is a rumor one. This one. So
okay.
Borderlands 3 for 2K and Mafia 3.
Oh, that'd be cool. Oh,
So these will all be next gen exclusive. Yeah. Then you've got your Black Ops 3 from Activision, as you said, just saying Bandai Namco's Dark Souls 3, Bethesda Fallout 4, and Doom.
Yes.
So that'll be there. Blizzard Overwatch. Yeah, so the other one is Devil May Cry from Capcom and Street Fighter 5, Resident Evil 0, which we've spoken about in the past. CI Games, is another speculation, is Sniper Ghost Warrior 3.
Oh, you like number 2, didn't you?
I liked the Sniper Ghost Warrior series a lot more than Sniper Elite. So I think it was a first-person view and a lot more sneakiness involved and a more modern setting. So that's what I really enjoyed about them anyway. Then we've got Deep Silver with Dead Island 2, which has been delayed in the past, so they'll be bringing more stuff out on that. Homefront: The Revolution.
Who picked that up? That's not still Crytek, is it?
No, Deep Silver.
Deep Silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what? For what it's worth, Homefront might have been not a lot of people's cup of tea with concerns to graphics and glitches and all that kind of stuff. But for what it's worth, Homefront had a phenomenal story, and if they had the likes of, say, Treyarch behind it, they could have turned it into an absolutely epic game.
Yeah.
Then we've got EA.
Oh, sucker.
Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, duh.
Mass Effect 4.
Really?
Mirror's Edge.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some of that.
Need for Speed reboot, and a possibility of Battlefield 5.
Doubt it.
Not sure. Hello Games is going to be there again with No Man's Sky. I'm really looking forward to that. So that looks pretty good. I do say so. Konami's got the Phantom Pain, so Metal Gear Solid 5, Pro Evo Soccer, Lionhead Studios, Fable Legends. So yeah, it's just good that what's his name, Peter Molyneux, isn't doing their things anymore. Microsoft. So we've got some big ones here. The Fable Legends, Forza 6, Forza Motorsport 6, Halo 5 Guardians, Gears of War 4.
Yeah, wow.
Quantum Break, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Scalebound.
Okay, I haven't heard much about Scalebound.
Now here's one here that Luke's going to wet his pants over because Nintendo will have Star Fox for Wii U.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
About time.
So that'll be pretty epic. I loved the old Star Fox games. They're more on the Mario Maker, Yoshi's Woolly World, and Xenoblade Chronicles 10. Square Enix possibility of Final Fantasy 15 and Hitman, a new Hitman game. Then the ones that they're confirmed is Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, Just Cause 3, Star Ocean, and Kingdom Hearts 3. Sony got some cool ones, so our PS4 is going to be pretty epic. Bloodborne expansion, God of War 3 Remastered, which is due out at the end of the month. Gran Turismo 7, Rime, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, Until Dawn, What Remains of Edith Finch, and then the speculations of Beyond Two Souls, The Last Guardian, and an Uncharted trilogy for PS4.
Count me in on about 85% of those.
Yeah. Yeah, and my big one, Gran Turismo 7 and God of War 3. Yeah,
I did that.
Telltale Games, Minecraft Story Mode.
Right.
Yeah. Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Tom Clancy's Division, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, and a speculation of a Watch Dogs 2, and throw in probably your Just Dances and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I was tipping a Splinter Cell.
Warner Brothers Entertainment, Interactive Entertainment, Mad Max.
Wicked.
So yeah, they're the big ones that I've got there, and yeah, hopefully we're going to see some real epicness come out of this E3. I'm getting very, very excited and can see myself glued to the PC watching hours of trailers that have come out of it. So
I might even watch it live this time round.
Yes, well, I can't do that seeing as my wife will be having a baby on the day that it starts. So
so many rant moments.
Yes. I think that she'll be quite upset if I'm in the delivery room with the iPad going out. Will you be quiet, please? I'm trying to watch E3. How rude of you. I said good day, sir.
You could be like me, my third one. I don't sound like a seasoned professional here. I fell asleep. I just slept for 6 hours.
I slept during the first one. Yeah, I had a little nap.
We done the hard work, man. We had to throw the leg over.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have to give birth. No, I got to mount that shit.
You knew the circumstances, that the consequences of your actions, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, well, that's just our E3 one, so yeah.
So, for all your XCOM fans out there and XCOM Enemy Unknown, a sequel is coming to Windows PC this November, and it will be known as XCOM 2. So obviously it'll be developed by Firaxis Games?
Yeah, Firaxis.
Firaxis, yeah, probably produced by 2K again, I would assume, because when you're on a good thing, why not? So, not a whole lot of information on it yet, but it does chuck you 20 years in the future after humanity lost the war against the alien threat and established a new world order. So, obviously, the great tale of the underdog coming from underground and probably pushing them back to overall victory. But for all you real-time strategy sort of fans out there, it's a turn-based strategy game, really, isn't it? I enjoyed it, what I played of Enemy Unknown on the PS3. It just felt real clunky. It felt like I really wanted to use a mouse. So, yeah, something to look forward to if you're into that sort of thing. I'm going to try and get my hands on it, actually, because, yeah, why not?
Wait a couple of months, you'll get it in a Humble Bundle.
Well, that's right. I won't jump off the bloody starting blocks and pay $60 for it. Fuck that. But yeah, so coming this November to PC, Windows PC, and it seems to specify that there, so you can't have your apple and eat it.
Yes, well, I've got the next one, which would be that it's either time to upgrade the hard drive or very sparingly start deleting things, because Batman Arkham Knight has revealed its file size that it's going to need to install, and it's just shy of 50 gig.
Fuck.
So just in between 45 and 50 gig of space on your hard drive will be required to install it on Steam, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
You know, that begs the question, you know. Call of Duty is about 55.
Yep.
GTA is definitely 50 plus. And the other big one I've had is 61 gig was NBA 2K15.
Yep.
I didn't understand that, in all honesty, why it was that big. But The Witcher is 30.
Yep.
So whether we look into whether the graphics are going to be better than The Witcher, or if it's just going to be massively dense.
I think it's going to be a little from column A and a little from column B there. It is a massively dense city.
Yeah.
And I reckon the graphics are going to be absolutely amazing.
Are you still hopeful of a 1080p 60 frame per second release?
I think 1080 30, but yeah, 1080 60 would be beautiful, but
pray for 60, but doubt it.
Yeah.
Seems to be the norm with those big games. You know, like they throw the word sandbox around a lot, and I reference this in my blog. The Witcher's not a sandbox, you know, traditionally, and I don't think Batman will be either. Sandbox is more create and whatnot. I know you can play in your sandbox and do what you want in your sandbox and everything like that, but I don't know. I think
more of an open world, massive open world.
Yeah, these things are going to be way too big for 60 frames.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's my Batman news.
Cool. Well, I've got one more to round out because there has been rumour and speculation over the last 3 or 4 days that Techland, developers behind Dying Light, had cancelled their first-person roguelike game called Hellraid, sorry. And they've come out today saying that it's not cancelled. They've just basically gone back to the drawing board because they weren't happy with what was looking to be the final product. So basically, roguelike first person is kind of like Skyrim. You know, you got your sword, first person sword dungeons and magic and everything like that. So it hasn't been cancelled, but right now they are concentrating on the Dying Light franchise. So whether that means extra expansions or a Dying Light 2, we don't know yet. But for those that are that little niche group like myself that latches onto a game that you hear about 12 months ago and you still hold hope for it to be released, then you can still hang your hat on the fact that Hellraid has not been cancelled, and with a bit of luck they'll get it right. But if I had to wait an extra 12 months for that game to get a Dying Light 2, then so be it.
Yeah, and a lot of the times it is a good thing when, you know what, they'll write a game and they'll start programming and doing all the artwork and all that kind of stuff, and then they'll just go, you know what, this isn't what I want to produce. Is it going in the right direction, or this and that? Instead of trying to fix the sinking ship, they just let it sink.
Yep.
And build another one. You know what? They're not getting rid of the story. They're not getting rid of all the stuff that they've done. What they're doing is they're going back and giving you a truly unique experience, like they did with Dying Light, because they don't want to get a shit name like these other companies are, who get the games which are, they get through it halfway and they go, oh, you know what, this is a bit shit, but fuck it, people are going to buy it anyway. Techland is not a big enough studio to be able to do that.
No. But that's a double-edged sword. They're probably not quite big enough financially to completely scrap an idea either.
Yeah.
Like your Blizzards, because they spent 4, 5, 6 years on Titan, whatever it was going to be, and just binned it.
Yeah.
Just absolutely binned it. And that's taking ownership. And companies like that will continue to produce profits because, well, they are standard setters now. You know, they set the standard. They are the yardstick. You got your Blizzards, like EA. They've got a bad name. They pushed out a couple of broken games. You know, Battlefield 4. You know, that still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. You know, yes, I've got Hardline, and yes, I'll get Battlefront, and yes, I'll probably buy a soccer or a basketball down the line.
Rory McIlroy.
Rory McIlroy. That's due soon, actually.
Yeah.
But kudos to them and come out and because people did speculate that they'd cancelled it and clickbait and people all over the internet are just going to run with whatever's going to get them a few hits instantly.
Yeah.
But to their credit, they've come out and said, look, no, it's not cancelled. It's just we're going to start again, basically. We're going to reinvent the IP.
Right.
Yeah, and we're only going to benefit for it, because if they did release a shit game like this, you'd never trust the same genre out of them again.
Mm.
So they probably learnt a lot from the whole first-person gig with Dying Light, and probably figured that they can make this a bit better.
And especially when you've got a person releasing games for you, well, your supplier of your game is Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And you've got to compete with things like Batman and Mortal Kombat and Mad Max.
Yeah.
And all the Legos. So, you know what, they're not going to pick you up anymore. If Dying Light was a flop, Techland would have gone from them.
Yeah, they'd be struggled to be published by anyone of the same size.
Same caliber, yeah. All
right, that brings the news to a close. With our not so frequently asked questions, today's game is an old one, and this is really going to throw into context how old you truly are when you recognise it. So I've got some facts about where on earth is Carmen Sandiego. So, just real quickly, where on earth is Carmen Sandiego was an educational type game where you're a super sleuth and you used clues and everything to find robbers, bank robbers, art robbers, thieves, if you will, around the world. And essentially the leader of the crew was Carmen Sandiego. So here's a few facts for you. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego was first released in 1985 for the Apple II. I was born in 1985. You worked, when you played in the game, you worked for a company called Acme. Go figure, the exploding dynamites and all that sort of job. But it was believed that Carmen herself used to work for Acme before defecting to Vile, the Villains International League of Evil. Really right up there they were back in the day. Carmen's middle name is Isabella, so put that one on your bloody Brains Trust list the next time you're at a video game related trivia night. At one point there were plans for a Carmen Sandiego movie, and Miss Congeniality herself, Sandra Bullock, was going to star as her. Where on earth in Carmen Sandiego, being educational, was originally released by Broderbond Software, and it came with an atlas and an almanac, which was really cool. So you're able to learn while you played. It eventually got released on all platforms, on the including platforms: Apple II, DOS, Commodore 64, Sega Master System, and the Amstrad CPC.
I had it on the Amiga.
I had it on the Commodore 64.
Mm. Yes. So back in the day, this would have to have been one of my favourite games as a kid. I was playing it, and it's funny that you say that it was an educational-based game, because my parents used to go, "Here you go, you want to play a game? Here you go, like play this," and I'd be running into the bookshelf to get the atlas off, and be sitting there looking at the flags and all that, because it's like Carmen was last seen driving away in a car flying a red, blue, and white flag, and then you'd have to choose from the options where she was, and they'd have something stupid like they'd have like a American flag, which is red, white, and blue, and then they'd have a Russian flag, which is red, white, and blue, and then you had to try and work out the other ones to where she was going with all the other clues and that. So you had a little notepad down next to you going, "Oh, she was here, and then she said this, and then you had to do this, and she was going away in this car," and all that kind of stuff. And it was really awesome, really good fun. And you never did catch her.
Never did catch her.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
How hard was it?
Yeah. And then they had the TV show.
Then the TV show, yeah, the animated series, that's correct.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yes, and she was voiced by Rita Moreno in the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for another little bit of pop culture quiz for you. But yeah, so it was released in 1985, the original, and it was updated in 1989. That's probably when the USSR became Russia or something like that, or Hong Kong defected. But yeah, so there's a few little one-liners from a game that we probably all nearly played in our generation. In all honesty, I can still hear the typewriter when you first log in and put your name in.
Yes.
And the robot, welcome back to Acme.
Yeah.
Everything was like monophonic.
Bringing back memories.
Yeah, so hopefully I've done Luke justice. He's obviously usually a whole lot more prepared than me. Not that I didn't try and prepare. It's just his bag.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's something you can take to your next trivia night, or you can stump your mates across the dinner table on Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. Rightio. Next up is my normal segment, shout out. Shout! Let it all out! Thorncliff, you beat me to the punch. I wanted to give a shout out to Chris McCormack, being the blind scientist himself, Ben Martin and Ben Squad, the Bill and Ben bloody flower pot twins, for their help on the bloody clan wars. Welcome to the clan, first and foremost, because that was their first clan war with the Age clan. Fair Dinkum, the bloke that gets on all our streams. He's always logging in every time I log on and stream. He's always coming to say g'day, and he put up with a bit of bloody controversy the other night because I think the PlayStation Network was under maintenance, so there was chat, there wasn't chat, there was a stream, there wasn't stream, but to his credit he kept coming back and checking it out. And someone that you might be somewhat familiar with yourself, Sean, Pat Clifford.
Yeah.
Once again, bloody legend. He's bringing us bits and pieces of news, sending us messages, jumping on, having games with us. So that's basically what we want from our community. So he's personified that this week and deserves a shout out. So thanks to you boys. That's Chris, Ben, Pat, and Fair Dinkum. Sorry, mate, I don't have a first name because you're not a Facebook user. You're just an avid podcast listener. And also, big shout out to everyone that does listen to the podcast, and Rusky Big Musky and everything like that. I very much appreciate all the warm words I got from you guys this week in relation to last week's shout out, and you've all been very kind, and yeah, it makes it feel like one big family, and I'm very privileged and proud to be part of it. So thanks very much.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they've actually made it this far this week, having to listen to us two and no LewkOne. So right now we could say whatever we wanted to, really, because nobody's listening anymore.
No. I'm not going to run the risk.
Luke, get the beat button ready. You know what we haven't done?
What's that?
Luke's going to be so pissy.
Oh,
I can just switch it around.
Sound?
What's that sound?
Time we stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Oh, you can blame me because I'm hosting this week's show.
Oh.
Alright, so I have a What's That Sound sent in from Nico. I put him on the job because the boss was working, and I said, right, now you can do this. And I've got a What's That Sound, so I'm going to play it right now for you.
Well, bring out the gimp.
Think the gimp's sleeping.
Well, guess you'll just have to go wake him up now, won't you?
Come on, you know what it is.
Yes.
Bring out the gimp.
Well, bring out the gimp.
Think the gimp's sleeping.
Well, guess you'll just have to go wake him up now, won't you?
It's Pulp Fiction, isn't it? Yes.
So, yeah, after that...
I only know that because I've got the same outfit.
So you must excuse us. I did endeavour to host it as professionally as Luke does, but once again I've been found wanting. But you guys aren't wanting for a podcast this week, because we stepped up to the plate, and you'll be greeted with some warm words. I would dare say at the start of the podcast, thanks to our very own LewkOne, he will get in amongst it a little bit, and I dare say he will help edit this production, and may even make me sound a little less. That was real PC, but still.
Awesome. Well, now that we're at the end of this week's show, please take the time to like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/AussieGamers2012. If you tweet your life away on a daily basis, follow at Gamers2012. If you Twitch, go on there, stream like fair dinkum. Aussie Gamers TV at twitch.tv. Stitcher, TuneIn Radio and iTunes is the best way to listen to this podcast and have it downloaded directly to the device of your choice. www.aussiegamersexpress.com is where you'll find all of our latest news, reviews, thought pieces, Red's little Witcher commentary, which is pretty cool. YouTube, search Aussie Gamers Express on there and you'll find us on there. Like, subscribe, comment, do all those kind of things. PO Box 130, Cranebrook, New South Wales 27449 is where you can send snail mail to. And that's about it for the show, isn't it, Mr. Redman?
Yes.
Well,
I
well
do
done.
believe we've between us we filled a pretty big pair of shoes.
Yeah. Well done. You did really well, I think. So
Appreciate it. We make a good team.
yeah, even if you did miss out half of the intro and got a little bit excited and
Mr. What's That Sound and
yeah.
ring.
Oh, there's always going to be something missed. It's all good. Big shoes to fill.
As I said. All right. Well, I've been ringing.
Do you want to try again what we were supposed to say at the start, because I was really hoping that you were going to fuck it up.
You want me to do another intro?
Well, just what the podcast was. The podcast that
Episode 80 of the Aussie Gamers podcast. The podcast that... Fuck. Hang on, I got it. Episode 80 of the Aussie Gamers Express podcast. The podcast that ponders while wandering and wondering around Wanda.
No.
No.
That ponders and wonders whilst wandering
Wandering
around
Wanda.
I told you needed to practice, man.
Yeah, man.
That's
I
been
had
going
it.
through my head all day.
I had it earlier. That's why I put ponder in there. So I could go ponder wonder.
Ponder wonder whilst wandering around Wanda. Sounds like a fucking Dr. Seuss book.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, anyway, you have been
Red.
I've been Thorncliff. Thank you very much for listening.
See you in episode 81. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Alright, thanks guys.
Just follow me, 'cause we need a little controversy, 'cause it feels so